Hey, what's happening, guys? Dan Darrow here with another Options and Play video update. So, first off, want to say thank you to those of you that stuck around for yesterday's option session. We had our, I'm gonna call it like bi-yearly option earnings prep pack day. So always like just like a nice opportunity to go over all sorts of different things relating to like options around earnings and like earnings and some of the things I'm focused on, some of like the tools I use, websites, like entering trades, exiting trades, all sorts of all sorts of things that kind of relate to like trading earnings. Um, and obviously wanted to do that because right at the start of earnings season right now, or just as we get going. So if you weren't able to make it, check out the video. It's up there on the YouTube stream. If you have any questions, let me know. One of the themes, and one of the things we spent some time talking about, and I mean, I am calling it my theme this quarter, is I will play them if they pay them. All right. So normally going into earnings season, I'm expecting stocks to move and I'm trading options accordingly, right? After the last quarter and even really going back to October, it's a little bit different. Like I'm a little bit more wait and see. Like, are they going to reward options, right? Because risk wise, higher risk when it comes to earnings plays because the stocks can tend to really move very sharply, and plus the option premiums can tend to be higher, right? So you want to get rewarded for like the risk you're taking, and if they're not rewarding options and the stocks are either not moving or maybe sell the news, then you don't really want to be taking the risk, right? So I'm a little bit more wait and see this quarter. Now, that being said, I still think there's ways to approach it, and like my two main focuses are ramp into the reports, especially if like the trends remained intact, right? So looking for moves ahead of earnings or into earnings, and then the other one is sympathy plays, right? And this week, I feel like there are a few names that set up well for a sympathy play. So I've talked about sympathy plays in the past. I've shown you how I go about looking for them. But what's nice about that is like if the stocks move, a sympathy play more often than not, highly correlated company should go along for the ride too. So you tend to get a move with the stock if it's good, it goes up. If it's bad, it tends to go down, right? So you get a move with the stock, but option pricing is often lower because they don't report that week, right? So you don't have that catalyst premium. If the stocks don't move, well, obviously the sympathy play is probably not going to move either. But again, option pricing lower because it doesn't have that catalyst that week, right? So, I mean, AMAT was one I was looking at because you have two really closely correlated stocks reporting, right? So ASML. So when I put them on the chart, you can see, right? So ASML closely correlated stock reporting this week, and also you have LAM, which is another very closely correlated stock reporting this week. You can see how these stocks have really moved in tandem very closely with one another over the last 5-6 months, right? Like I did the correlation, and it was above 98 for these two stocks and AMAT over the last 6 months. Another name, and this one obviously way more obvious, but LVS reports, right? And then Win doesn't report. So this is two casinos. They are very, very closely correlated. You can see just by like the performance of the stocks over the last 6 months, right? So LVS reports, Win doesn't report, right? So if LVS has a significant move this week on earnings, odds are because these are very closely correlated, Win will probably have a pretty sizable move as well. Win's options though aren't priced for an earnings report because Win doesn't report this week, right? So like this is the idea of like a sympathy play. It's like if the stock has a big move on earnings, like the company that's actually reporting, you would think that the highly correlated sympathy play would also move as well. If the stock doesn't move, which we don't really know what to expect this quarter, we're just kind of getting started, then yeah, options will probably take a hit. But at the same time, the option pricing most of the time is lower because you're not paying for that earnings catalyst, right? So coming into the quarter, I'm looking at a lot of ramp into report ideas. I'm also trying to think and really look outside the box for sympathy plays because I want to participate, but I want to see options get rewarded before I actually take options into the actual print or the company's own print. So this is kind of how I'm approaching it. Wait and see. If I start to see things really see huge reactions to earnings, then we'll start to play more earnings. But this is how I'm approaching this quarter for now. All right. So if you like this video and you're looking for more information on trading earnings with options or sympathy trades or rampant report trades like I talked about, please follow up with the link in the description of the video for more information on options in play. Hope you have a wonderful night. Stay well, and I will talk to you all tomorrow.